Hello, healers and health seekers. My name is Ichoda. I am currently healing from multiple chronic illnesses that I have had for many years through the medical medium protocols. And if you want to know more about my journey, I will put a link somewhere to videos I made about that. But today I am here to talk about detox and the journey of healing and how it is not linear. And help! I'm having flares. My symptoms came back, or they're getting worse. What do I do? Am I healing? Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. So I cannot tell you how many times I've been in the medical medium community, which means like social media, Facebook groups, listening to the radio shows. There's a lot of different Facebook groups. There's Instagram, Twitter, and people often ask this question: why are my symptoms getting worse? Why am I still having all these symptoms? Why is it taking so long? How long is it going to take? What'll make it go faster? And that is the question. These are questions that are so hard to answer because everybody is different. Like, we each have such individual circumstances and viral loads and bacterial loads and toxins in our environment and inherited toxins and things, that contribute to the overall picture of how fast or slow our healing will go. For example, a few months into my own healing, a few months after we'd started the medical medium protocols, and we had already planned this, we got into an RV. We sold our house and got into an RV and traveled for almost a year living in that RV. So I was in different locations all the time. There was a lot of, travel related stress, because even though it was a super fun trip, traveling is stressful no matter what on your body. And so I do think that slowed down my healing a bit, and definitely certain locations added to my load on my body and the stresses on my body more than others. Some were much easier to be in. For example, the desert was pretty nice. I felt the best in the desert, and we were in southern Arizona, which I don't think I would want to be in during the summer, but in the winter it was glorious. And I felt really good there. Whereas in Southern California, where it's very, very polluted, I felt horrible, and I had a huge flare up in my symptoms. Like I got really sick in Southern California, not just once, but twice. We were there a month and a half, and twice for over a week, I was just laid out and just feeling awful, and all of my strep symptoms were flaring, and it was terrible. And at that time, I was still eating rice because I didn't quite realize that rice feeds strep, so that made it way worse. And it was just, it was a tough time. And there were other places my symptoms flared too, and I was still, kind of early in my journey too. So, I mean, all of these things together and the travel, it was a lot. I got sick in the desert too, but it was at the end when we were going to leave. I think my body didn't want to leave. That's my theory. I didn't want to leave the desert. But so we ended up staying longer because I had to wait till I felt better so we could travel again. And now we're in the Midwest, and coming to the Midwest also, it's kind of done a number on my symptoms. But I'm not trying to talk about that, but that's an example. So different environments affect you differently. Even the same person, they affect you differently. And the Midwest has been harder on my symptoms in the summer it was the humidity and the campfires, because we were staying at a campground, not an RV park, and I won't go into that, but there was a lot more fires, which I'm sensitive to, smoke. So That that was really hard. But I can, it doesn't matter where you are though, you're still healing is my point. And I'm still healing here even if it's slowed down because now it's winter. Winter has a whole effect on your immune system, depresses it a bit, and your liver gets more sluggish, and so it's harder to process toxins out. And so, you just got to do extra support and drink lots and lots of fluids, lots of water, lots of lemon water, celery juice, aloe water, things that are hydrating, and good teas for liver support. So you can expect in your journey of healing that there will be times when your symptoms flare up or even sometimes might even feel worse. And I promise you, you are healing. It will pass. It is detox. I look at it this way. To me, healing is like an onion. Okay. So you peel away a layer of, it's like, oh, I got this layer of toxins out and viral debris and virus and whatever. You peel it away and it's like, oh, here's this deeper hidden layer that now can come to the surface. And sometimes when that stuff comes to the surface, it, it causes flares and symptoms for us, but it doesn't mean that we're not healing. It doesn't mean that we're getting sicker. It is not a step backwards in that, like, we haven't chosen the wrong path. It just means you've got stuff to detox out. And I think honestly, as long as we are on this planet, this is a toxic planet we live on. And as long as we're on this planet, there's going to be stuff to detox out. And so sometimes there will be flares. It's just part of healing. Anthony says over and over again, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, and you got to keep a light heart. You have to know that you're healing. You have to know in your heart of hearts that you are healing. And any little bump in the road, even if it lasts for a month or months or a long time, it's not because you're not healing. It's just because you've got stuff that's coming up and out, and the detox is kind of hard on the body. Now, there are things you can do for support, and I'm going to talk about those too. There are ways to slow down detox if you're detoxing too fast. For example, if you're doing the 28-day cleanse and you're all raw, or you're not doing the 28-day cleanse and you're still all raw or something like that, it's pretty easy to slow down detox by just eating some cooked foods in the evenings, like potatoes or sweet potatoes or, cooked veggies or something. That'll slow down detox so that you're not processing stuff out too quickly. And that's a nice, delicious way to do it. Another thing that you can do for detox that I love to do, you can do a detox bath. And a detox bath is your regular bath at whatever temperature you like it. 2 cups of Epsom salts, a half a cup of baking soda, and a half a cup of sea salt. And you soak in that for about 20 to 30 minutes. I always end up, like, I either listen to an audiobook or do a guided meditation, or sometimes I read my Kindle. I like listening to audiobooks because then I can just sit there with my eyes closed. It's so nice and relaxing. And I often stay in the detox bath way too long until the water gets cold because I'm listening to the audiobook and I lose track of time. But that's a great relaxing way. And then before the detox bath, you would want to do skin brushing. You do dry brushing. So there's lots of YouTube video tutorials on how to do skin brushing. So I won't go into that, but you just take a dry brush and you brush your whole skin before you get in the bath or your shower. And that helps move the lymphatic system, which supports the liver in flushing out toxins. It's really great. It's great for your skin, and it feels really nice because you know how in winter you get a little itchy? At least I do, because the air's so dry, and so you sort of feel itchy. To me, the skin brushing sort of relieves that, and it's just nice. It feels so good. The first time you do it, your skin might feel really sensitive to it, but it gets easier over time. It's like, it feels just really nice. I love it. Of course, all of the liquids, you want to drink a really decent amount of like lemon water. Of course, you want to drink the celery juice. That always will support your liver. That's fantastic. You know, add extra in the winter like now, or if you're going through a particularly rough patch of detox, I think add more celery juice. Like do one in the morning and do one at night, or even do twice as much in the morning or something like that, and still one at night. Celery juice is really supportive to the liver, and it really helps you flush out. As you know, if you drink celery juice, it flushes you right out. It's great. So drink lots, and lots of teas can be really supportive to the liver. Red clover, burdock root are very supportive. Again, drinking lots of lemon water. You can do a cranberry flush, which is 2 tablespoons of Lakewood cranberry juice or fresh cranberry juice if you can get fresh cranberries. The juice of 1 lemon or a half of lemon is what I do. Raw honey to taste, a bit of cinnamon, and 12 to 16 ounces of water. I like to, for me to dissolve the raw honey, I just shake it up really hard in a mason jar, and that works. And all my water's room temperature anyway because it's filtered through the Berkey, and I drink that. And another one is aloe water. Aloe water is so hydrating. It's really good for the body. You do a big chunk of aloe or the Lakewood aloe juice, water, whatever. I'm not sure how much of that, maybe a couple of ounces, I don't know. So a big chunk of aloe, you do the juice of a lemon or half a lemon, a thumb of ginger, again, some raw honey. I spin it all up in the Vitamix and then strain it and drink it. It's delicious. All of these are delicious and so good for you because they help your liver. So it's really good to give your liver lots of support when you're detoxing, and just always, because your liver has to process this planet's toxins, and that is no easy feat, let me tell you. So, as you know, I should say, another thing you can do, castor oil packs. Again, YouTube video tutorials on how to do castor oil packs. You want to use an organic cloth, you know, and castor oil, and maybe do those like 3 days in a row each week. Those are really good. I have not started them yet, but they have been recommended to me a million times, and I'm working on integrating them into my liver supporting routine. It just takes me time. So, and one more thing you can do is gentle exercise. Like Anthony often recommends the Pocket Gym and Synergetics. I think you can even just do Synergetics without ordering the Pocket Gym. And rebounding is another one. Rebounding is a nice, wonderful, gentle exercise that's great for the lymph system. It's really easy to get a rebounder. You can get one on Craigslist or eBay probably, and in stores, Amazon, whatever. And obviously yoga or stretching, Tai Chi, those are very gentle exercises that are good. Don't do power yoga or hot yoga. That's too much for the body while you're cleansing. It's just too much. But like a gentle yoga, restorative yoga, stuff like that, hatha yoga, those are all very gentle, and you could do those. So those are some ways to support the liver. And just don't be afraid, you know. If you get in a flare, just take the opportunity. I know this can be really hard to do when you're scared. And I know that the PTSD of having chronic illness makes it very easy to get triggered into being afraid and losing hope and thinking, oh my gosh, it's coming back, it's not healing, you know, I'm doing something wrong, whatever, millions of thoughts would go through your head. That's a good time. I think that's a good time to use the other tools Anthony has in his books. Use the angels, talk to them, ask them for help, use their support, do the meditations, go inward, you know, focus on the moon or the sunsets or bird song or whatever beautiful parts of nature you have. I like to just watch the skies because where I live, the skies can be really amazing sometimes. And I love the clouds, and it's so comforting to me and peaceful a lot of the times when there's not other things in the sky that are toxic. Um, but use those tools. Like I say, use flare time to just take care of yourself and kick back and relax and rest. Do lots of rest, lots of hydration, lots of supporting yourself because that's the opportunity. That's the opportunity in that. And over time, towards the beginning, if I would get flares of symptoms, it would scare me too. It would scare me too because this is very different. I know the medical medium path is very different from what is mainstream or well known or accepted, or we're off the beaten path here. We are. And it requires a lot of faith and a lot of trust because it's very easy because especially if people around us are saying, "What are you doing? Oh my gosh, well, I see you're healing, but that's not anything I've heard of before," or whatever. So sometimes it can be hard to stay on that path if you don't have that support. For me, the support came from just immersing myself in Facebook groups and in Instagram and filling my feed. Honestly, my Instagram feed is just all people who are healing just like I am in using the medical medium protocols to do it. That has helped me so tremendously just to have that, because then I'm looking every day, I'm being inspired every day. People keep sharing their stories, people keep sharing what they're doing and their own experiences. And even if somebody is sharing that like they're having a flare or they're in pain, I'm still inspired because they're reaching out, and I love that. I just love the camaraderie and the support that's there. And then the Facebook groups too. You can get questions answered, you can read other people's questions and get more of a sense of like, okay, this is, everybody's got struggles and everybody's working through it and we're still going forward. So use those things. Again, on my journey, it took me a while to really have faith and know, and I mean, I completely know now. I know I'm healing. I have total faith that I'm healing. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it at all. If I have a flare, then I just chill out and, catch up on some shows and listen to some audiobooks and just rest. I just rest and zone out and like let it happen. And I know that it's going to pass and I just wait. Like, okay, I make sure I do all of my immune support and I make sure that I do all of my juicing and teas and smoothies and eating the healing foods, and I go, okay, more stuff's coming up, when my skin, gets worse and better, it's like, okay, stuff's coming out of my liver, copper's coming out of my liver and giving me the rosacea, and it's, strep is giving me the acne. Strep is a tough one when it's deep in there. I've got layers of strep that are deep in there. It's been 18 months and I think basically I have the virus kicked. But that strep is just, it's tenacious, man. It's tenacious. It's like, I'm not going to go down without a fight. And I'm like, okay, but you're going to go down. So you should just give up now. But, yeah, it takes time and everybody is different. I mean, Anthony has said that some people heal in as little as 3 months. Some people take 3 years or longer, it just depends on your level of exposure and what you got going on in there. So just don't give up hope. Don't be disheartened. And if you're struggling, reach out to somebody in the community, reach out to some other medical medium person and say, whether it's me or somebody else, and say, I'm struggling and I'm worried and I need help or whatever, because the people in this community are amazing people. And we've all been there. We've all been in the worst place, and we've come up from it. So we really get it. We get where you are because we've been there, We're in this together, And everybody is really supportive of each other and really genuinely wants to help each other lift up out of chronic illness and heal and live their best life. And that's an amazing thing. Like, it's hard to find that anywhere else. I never have. I mean, I've never have found anything that's quite this supportive, and then people just really wanting everybody to have their best life. So that is it. That is my video on detox. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That's very helpful to the channel, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. Stay curious. I wish you the best healing for all of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.